Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Popacita. And today we're going to take a look at what was added to the Nintendo Switch Online services very recently. We're going to take a look at what was added to the Nintendo Entertainment System, Famicom Computer System, Super Nintendo, and then since we actually missed mentioning some of the ones that are added to the N64. What we did here is we went ahead and synced up the Nintendo Entertainment System one. It doesn't look like anything was added to the Sega Genesis service recently, but we will check what's added to the Nintendo Switch and Famicom Computer Nintendo Switch Online ones. So let's start with the Famicom Computer one and see what they added. I know that there's been some complaints lately about Nintendo Switch Online with them not adding big titles. But let's be very honest, there's not too many really big titles left to add. I mean, the most recent thing they added was the Pinball for the Famicom. And I think this is the one that they added for the Nintendo NES as well. For those wondering, this version of Pinball was one of the first games that Satoru Iwata worked on. It's kind of a staple of the Nintendo and Famicom systems, but not enough people have really played it. Kind of like how some of the games they have here aren't available in the American NES one, but Pinball is one of those ones, kind of like Revenge of the Gator for the Game Boy or Alleyway, where it's an integral part of Nintendo's history, and when they add it, it's just one of those it's just kind of perfunctory. They add it in there. So when people are complaining that it's added, I'm just like, why are you complaining? That's just something you're going to do. They do that with every single one of these. And here's the thing, too. If you're playing the Nintendo Switch Online, you're paying them like $20 a year for something they used to sell separately on the Nintendo Wii eShop Virtual Console for $5. So I feel like there's actually a lot more value in here than people want to admit. I'm not one of those people that's always continually like, oh, why aren't they adding... Actually, looking at this, I'm trying to think what else they could add. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that's... like, for example, some of these are available in other apps. For example, Double Dragon 2 are here. Double Dragon 3 isn't, but you can get it as a separate app elsewhere. Some of the other games, we've had people complain about the Natsume and Jalico ones, but many of these aren't available in other ways. I know that there's no Mega Man or a Castlevania, but those are available, like I mentioned before, in other things. Now, Pinball's actually pretty good. Where did I put it? Here it is. Now, with Pinball... that's not the one that we're going to actually play through. We're going to actually switch out of those, and we're going to go ahead and switch this up to the Super Nintendo controller. And we're going to see what was added to Super Famicom and the... come on. Trying to get this to sync up. Come on, you can do it. Believe in you. There we go. Oh, I need to charge that. Okay, let's actually charge that real quick. There we go. But yeah, that's what was added to the Famicom. Let's go ahead and check and see what was added for Super Famicom and then for the Super Nintendo. Now, there is a game this time around that was available in Japan that wasn't available in the U.S. market, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. It's kind of funny because I was watching other videos, and some other people have commented on this already, and they're just like, we don't know what this game is. This is a You're something Hawasa. Now, Rushing Beat is available on the US one, and it is a side-scrolling fighter. There's quite a few of those. I think it's a Technosoft one. They're kind of the people who did like Joe and Mac, which we've got around here, and then I think possibly Renegade. This one's an interesting one in that it is a physics puzzler. Let me find a place to put it. Wow, yeah, that's a huge box. You think that I think it's because they didn't put it up on its side because of the way it's displayed. If you'll note, they try and make these a little bit at least match up with their original looks. Actually, let me move that Super Punch Out to. Oh, I can't move that Super Punch Out over to the other Super Punch Out. If I remember correctly, Super Punch Out didn't actually. Don't think this one actually came out in Japan, but I'm not sure. Anyways, let's take a real quick look at this one before we get to what was added to the Nintendo Switch Online in the US. Now, let's see here. Let's hit start. Basic idea of this, your main character has a little fishing pole that you can use to get over obstacles and attack enemies and such. So, there's actually a version of this available like right now on the Switch. Whoop. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. The basic idea for this is that you avoid the super realistic fish, especially in the new one. There's the Like I said, it's physics based. There we go. Now this one never came out to the United States, which is kind of a shame. Oh no. We have a time limit too, so we gotta be very careful with that. Wait. Let me check the controls real quick. Okay, is there a way to... That's your jump button, but... Okay, that one's... Okay. So, A and Y do the same thing. X and B jump. Oh. Let's try and bring that up there. We need to pull ourselves up to that again. Oh, that was... Whoops. Got it. And these come back. If you're a fan of, like, other physics-based... Other physics-based... Wait, did we just die? No, we just died. Apparently you can die for falling. So... There are actually a couple of these games in the United States. NIS usually releases them, or Natsume releases them, and it's the I think the most recent one is Burst, which is actually, if I remember correctly, a re-release of this game, but with hyper realistic graphics for the fish, and then cartoony graphics for the stuff, and like it's okay. Whoop. Let's do this. Got it. And here we are at the end of the level. Yeah, that was a terrible time. So when you... Okay. We can just pull them into our backpack. Oh, this right here? Let's see here. Okay, am I supposed to... wait. Oh. There's got to be a way to reel that in. I do not remember how to reel that in. Okay. Whoop. Oh, we died. Anyways, that one, let's bring it up here for a second. Let's get back to the main menu. And that's one of those kind of challenging games where you're like, okay, thanks, I guess. I look at the Nintendo Switch Online service as being a bit like going into a Blockbuster back during the 80s or 90s and stuff, and just seeing stuff. It'd be like if you went to a Blockbuster and you could rent anything on there for free. Think of this as like a Blockbuster shelf. There's some really good games on there, but there's also a little bit of stinkers. And let's see what they added. Well, speaking of stinkers. Okay, so we got Congo's Caper and Rival Turf. Rival Turf has a super 80s looking look to it. We'll put it right there next to Claymate's Spanky's Quest and these other weird games that they added. Like I said, and Congo's Caper is technically Joe and Mac 2, but it doesn't have Joe and Mac in it. And Joe and Mac, let's see, where is that one? The original Joe and Mac is over there, and then Joe and Mac 2, which is Joe and Mac 3 in Japan, is also there. They didn't get Congo's Caper for some reason, but it's Data East. Data East tends to, like, release their stuff on everything. We're not going to mess with Congo's Caper because, to be perfectly honest, a lot of the really exciting stuff for the Nintendo Switch came out actually on the Nintendo 64 Switch Online service this month. This by the time you see this, it'll be like this is May 31st. A lot of this stuff was added right before that. So let's head up to the N64. I think we already covered like some of the stuff that was added for the Sega Genesis. I'm trying to. Come on, you can do it. I'm trying to sync these controllers sometimes. There we go. So that's paired. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the Japanese one first, because there are two games that came out that I forgot to cover on the N64. Let's go to compilations. We're going to go into the Japanese one first, which hopefully eventually will have stuff that's only in Japan or only in the United States. But for right now, they mostly look the same. Although it is a really good way to So the ones that were added were there is Mario Golf was added. It's another one of the Mario It's one of the Mario sports. Like for example, there's Mario Tennis and Mario Golf 64, and then Kirby and the Crystal Shards or Kirby 64. Now, with the release of Kirby, I think the only stuff that they've talked about of making it to the system that hasn't yet is Pokemon Snap, possibly Banjo-Tooie. So there's not much there that's been announced. It looks like in June we might see some more announcements for more stuff. I'm kind of hoping that we do get stuff like GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. What I'd really, really like, though, is a copy of Bomberman 64. Considering that we do have Konami stuff on board, for the most part, we might. What surprised me, though, is that we got Microsoft on board for this, which, honestly, that's pretty funny. It's a Nintendo Switch game from Xbox Game Studios. I do like the fact that they just kind of play nice like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and check what was added to here. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm allergic to all this value. Anyhow, let's get into here real quick. I think I did check out the golf game on here, but I didn't check it out on video. So I may have already moved it over. Which, by the way, one thing that Sony can take note, the Nintendo 64 service, the Nintendo Switch Online service, has the PAL versions of these, right? If the American version is completely different or like completely superior to the PAL version, they'll just have the American one. But on some of these ones right here, because some people may be more familiar with the timing from the 50 Hertz versions that you had in Europe, they had the European versions available to play as well. Unlike Sony's PlayStation Plus thing that they're trying to charge people more money a year for, this lets you choose between the 50 Hertz and the 60 Hertz versions. Mainly because there are some other differences between these. For example, just timing reasons, and sometimes people like having both of those available for speedrunning reasons or different errors. But yeah, Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards was what was added to it this month, and we're gonna check a little bit of that out. This one is pretty unique for the ability to combine abilities in it. Oh, HAL Laboratory. But also, they did kind of clean up the polygons and stuff for this one a bit. One thing, though, about a lot of N64 stuff, and I'll be perfectly honest, I feel like a lot of N64 games didn't really age as well as people would like you to think they did. Well, let's see. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's go from here, and we're going to start. Do you know how to use Kirby's copy ability? Yep. That actually looks pretty nice. And to be perfectly honest, like with the recent resurgence of Kirby, thanks to Kirby and the Forgotten Land, yeah, it's kind of nice to see them show some appreciation to these. Hopefully, we'll eventually get to a point where they'll give us stuff like GameCube games like Kirby Air Ride or so. That would be kind of nice, or at least a sequel to that. I mean, we've got a sequel to Pokemon Snap, but we didn't get a sequel to Air Ride yet. I also like that there's no actual text, so people can kind of get the idea of the story, just with pantomime. Okay, we're gonna go back to here. Now, this is not Kirby's first foray into 3D. Sorry, because it's technically a 2.5D game, similar to like Yoshi's Story, but with more slight camera changes. There we go. Oh, that's one of her powers. Okay. Wait, how do I combine the abilities? I probably should have watched that, whoop. Oh no. Wait. Okay, there's our spiky ones, and then... Is it ZR? Wait. We don't use the control stick for this. This is not a game I had on the N64. So I'm just like, oh no. So how do I combine these? Okay. Maybe I can, no? Just keep throwing it. Actually, let's go back to, like... Yeah, I have no idea how I'm supposed to combine the powers. I'm supposed to, because you're supposed to be able to. Maybe that's something you learn? We'll find out. We'll just beat this first level and figure it out. It might be something that they unlock a little bit later. We'll see. Like, after you find these. It's got a cute look to it, though. There's got to be something you do with that. Wow. That was, I think that was the mini boss. So, kind of a problem with the Kirby series, and something that you find in, like, the console versions of it. For example, like the ones that, like, I think Kirby's Deluxe, the one that was on the Nintendo Switch before Forgotten Kingdom, or Forgotten Land, or Forgotten World, I don't remember. I forgot what it's called. But no, is that they're kind of easy. Which kind of, like, fits with the demographic for Kirby. Although the new one's not. It actually has a decent amount of challenge, and I would say that the second Game Boy game and the Kirby Superstar definitely had some challenge to them. Okay, we've got these things, and of course that's the whatever Eldritch horror is stalking Kirby for that day. Oh no. This is kind of a, there is no DDD, only Zool type moment. Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay. Whoa. Almost. And done. I wonder if this is one of those ones where you get to play as Waldy. I don't think it is. But I'm wondering if they're going to go ahead and explain how to, okay. Wait, what are we doing? Oh. I think I was trying to jump onto there or something? I do like what they're doing here for this, but I'm going to go ahead and head out from there to here. Let's create a suspend point. And then get back to here. I'm going to actually have to... Actually, let me go back here a moment and hit the user's guide. No, don't. No! Okay, let's hit the user's guide. Nope. That does not tell you, how to play the game. Or how to combine the powers. So what I really should have done is, mention this. Okay, so it will just... Come on, let's skip through those. Okay, so it's probably going to pop up with the tutorial. Oh wait, did I say yes or nope? I think I said nope. I said yes, whoops. Let's reset the game. But yeah, if you're a fan of Kirby, this is one of the it's one of those Kirby games that there's a certain subset of like GameFAQs or NeoGAF or whatever that's like, oh, this is an amazing game, and then when you come back to it, you're like, not particularly. Kind of like Paper Mario. The Paper Mario on the N64 is one of those games where okay, let's do nope. Okay. Ah, there we go. Beat inhale. Okay. Exhale. Okay, not bad. Yeah, that's one. That's how we swallow them, of course, to get that power. Okay, when Kirby swallows an enemy with a special power, Kirby gets that power. Okay, but how do we swap between those? Okay. Oh. Oh. So, I was looking for a button combination. There we go. That's how that works. Let's load up our save point. That's one thing I love about this online is, while the N64 one doesn't have the rewind feature, it does have the suspend points, which is fantastic for some of these games, especially like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask, or on the Super Nintendo one, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, where if you save your game, it counts as dying in it. Hold on. Which, to be honest, was kind of unfair if you're trying to do like a zero death run. But yeah, those are the games that were added to the Nintendo Switch Online service in May, not counting the ones that we already checked already for the Sega Genesis. Personally, I'm okay with it. I feel like they add at a frequent enough pace where there's always something kind of new. And even if the crop of games added to it isn't what some people may be hoping for, because some people are still hoping for some reason that Nintendo and Capcom will just put all the Mega Man games out on there when compilations of those exist. I mean, if you want... I know there's some overlap between, like, say, the Sega Genesis classics and the Sega Genesis ones, but if you're wanting Mega Man games, there are 4 different Mega Man Legacy collections out there to pick it up for them. For the Castlevania, there's 2 of them. Contra, there's 1. And on some of these, like, for example, Secret of Mana is in Collection of Mana. Final Fight is in Capcom Beat 'em Ups. Many of the Street Fighter games are in their own thing over... Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Or in here, right? And then you have the Double Dragons 1, 2, 3, the Capcom Arcade ones, and Namco Archives. And honest to goodness, in some of these cases, you don't really want the Super Nintendo port for some of them. Like, for example, with Samurai Showdown, you don't want the Super Nintendo port. You'd want to go with the Neo Geo collection there, which is the arcade games. And in this one here, like, some of these are on the Nintendo Switch Online, but that's more icing than anything else. And it's like $20 a year, so the amount of complaining that happens every time one of these games comes out just gets old and tired. And it's just one of those things where that's just one part of the fan base where you're just like, really, guys? Oh, and the people asking for like for Disney stuff, those have their own collection. It's right here, that one. It's got Aladdin, Lion King, and Jungle Book, and it's got the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo versions of both of those. So yeah, there is one that I don't currently have on here. That would be the Humans collection that has the Super Nintendo one, the NES one, and the Game Boy one. But those aren't really that good. But yeah, there you go. That's what was added to the Nintendo Switch Switch Online service near the end of May. Let me know in the comments below what you think of those. Are you really, really into Yumurari Hawase? Or Kirby's 64? Let me know in the comments below. And until next video comes out, you are now caught up.
Morning, Maya.